This is a video of SBR Jangles, an 11-ish-year-old gelding who stands about 15 hands tall. He walks and trots well. He does need work on a canter, especially the cue. And he tries very hard to please. This is kind of a fun horse to have. He doesn't get particularly worried. We did purchase him from a buyer that ships to slaughter. And when we got him, there was another horse in the pen with him, so we took both. We named them Jingles and Jangles, and because we got them around Christmas. And Jingles, the mare, had really bad ring bone on both front feet and was sore all the time. And after consulting with the vet and trying some treatments, we elected to put her to sleep. She was never going to be comfortable or sound and was in quite a bit of pain. Jangles, on the other hand, has pretty good legs, and he's been sound for us. He's a happy horse. You'll see him using his ears. He stays right to the rail, which is always nice. And he kind of has a nice speed that he trots in. Before I go any further, I want to say that the horse lunging in the middle is not a rescue. That is a show horse. It is not for adoption. Aaron just asked Jangles to walk. He has a nice flat walk, but he has a little speed to it. So for those of you who would like to trail ride and you don't want a horse with a real pokey walk, this horse kind of steps up and walks somewhere. So he would be one of my picks for somebody that likes to trail ride but doesn't like to go in slow motion. He can keep up a little better with some of those gaited horses, that the walking horses and stuff that have a little bit of speed to their gait. He is, again, we're trotting this direction. We usually trot him both ways and then canter, and there's a reason for that. And I'll talk about when he canters. He's still a little fussy in the bridle, but he was on the road. He had Amish shoes, and he's used to wearing an overcheck. We do not ask them to set their head a whole lot, especially at first, because one, the neck muscles are developed wrong. Because of the overcheck, they've developed the muscle that lifts the head and not the one that allows it to drop over. And two, if their teeth are bad and you start setting their head, sometimes they physically cannot do it. Jangles' teeth were done in November, I believe, or December. So he is okay to start that way. We tend to not do that. Now, Aaron's going to ask him to canter. You're going to see him make a mistake because he's like a little confused. And when she cues him, he didn't even have canter in his mind. So he was trotting. It wasn't coming up into the canter. So she stops him, keeps him, letting him know something's going to go on. She's going to use the corner, and she's going to tap him and lift, as you see that. And he kind of came into that. Now, this horse will let you lift to let him canter, which tells me he may have been in saddlebred school. The fact he stays to the rail and that you can kind of lift him to canter may indicate that he was not raised by the Amish. This horse has kind of a naturally nice collected canter. It's not a run. It's not frantic. He doesn't lose his balance and slip and fall or do any of that stuff. He's not going 9,000 miles an hour. So he got his canter start, and now Aaron's going to reverse him, and she's going to turn him away from the rail, because we're working on teaching him a canter start where the cue is turned to the rail. So now that he's thinking canter, we don't want him to get her signals confused. So she turned away from the rail. She's going to come up to this canter and use the corner to help him canter. She lifted him right up, and he did it really well. Most horses are cantered, if they are cantered, on the left lead more than the right, most of them, and they're a little easier to do this way. That's not always true, but most of them are. This horse canters nicely. Aaron's going to go around a couple times. We don't, when we're teaching him to canter, ask him to canter and then go around a million times, because it becomes punishment for them. They didn't get any relief from you asking him to canter. So she'll go around twice, and she's going to stop him there. He dropped out from underneath, so she's going to stop him. And then she's going to ask him one more time to canter. She's setting him up, letting him know he's going to do something. And he does a pretty good start this way. And that was an excellent start. Now, this goes to show what I've been saying. By the third time you do something, the horse has got the idea. So if you do it one time and he doesn't get it, change or modify what you're doing. Because if you do it wrong 3 times, that horse is already kind of learning that's what they think, that's what you want him to do. If you have any questions and want to know more about Jangles, please contact Saddlebred Rescue.